What's up, everyone? Good morning. Welcome to a special midweek Cohn phone. Why not? I usually get the same people on the weekends. Maybe the same people who call. I like the same people. The usual suspects are great, but maybe give someone else a chance. See who's not working at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday on the West Coast. The title of the show is Free Agents You Want the 49ers to Sign. I was talking to my wife yesterday. We're trying to plan out a little workcation the next few weeks, and she was saying, when is the legal tampering period start? Because my wife knows about the legal tampering period. She's a baller like that. And I was like, damn, like 2.5 weeks. So I'm sure the Niners have a bunch of targets that they're looking at. Curious to see who you think they should sign: corners, offensive linemen, maybe a quarterback, maybe a backup quarterback. I'd love to hear it. But before I do that, hold on real quick. I want to put the link in the description so you can call in when the time is right. But first, I want to talk about Matt Mayoko's latest article. You know, I love Matt Mayoko, OG of the Niners beat. And now he says that the 49ers check all the boxes for Tom Brady. This is getting spooky. All the big name writers are coming to the same conclusion that if Tom Brady plays in 2022, is going to be here for the 49ers. Matt Mayoko started his article off by saying Tom Brady never used the word retire in his goodbye letter that he gave to the public and the Bucs. He said he no longer could make the 100% competitive commitment, whatever the hell he said. Well, I don't know. It was Esperanto, what he wrote. But it seems like if he decides he wants to make the competitive commitment in the next few months, it's going to be here. As Matt Mayoko put it, and Mike Florio put it, there's really nothing more for Tom Brady to accomplish in the NFL than to play for the team he grew up rooting for. And we know it's something he wants to do because he tried to do it 2 years ago. The Niners said no. I think the thought process is now they were crazy to say no the first time. They know they were crazy to say no the first time, although I don't know if Kyle knows that, but everyone else does, John Lynch, Jed York, and they won't make the same mistake twice. Okay, fine. But this just seems to me like, again, the Niners waiting around for a quarterback they're probably not going to get. Right? Like in 2017, they were waiting around for Kirk Cousins, never got him, but they thought they were. And then what was it? Last year, they were waiting around for who? Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. They missed out on Stafford, ended up with Lance, who I like. I don't think it was their first choice. And they missed out on Stafford, who just won the Super Bowl. So now they're going to wait around all year for Tom Brady, who probably won't come out of retirement. And then we'll see how committed they really are to Trey Lance. It'll be interesting to see where like other quarterbacks go. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, while the Niners sit and wait for Tom Brady. Maybe Brady's messing with him. You know what I mean? Trying to get back at him for saying no to him 2 years ago. Like, you know, I don't know. If I got dumped by a girl, I wouldn't go. I haven't been single in a very long time. But if I got dumped by a girl, I wouldn't go back to her 2 years later and be like, hey, what do you say? You trying to do it again? I'd make her think that I want to get back with her and then boom, dump her. Are you kidding? That's what I would do if I were Tom Brady. Like, oh, you said no to me, but I cleaned up my act and I'll be better this time and I'll do whatever you say. Like, are you kidding? I don't know. You can give a team an opportunity to dump you a second time, Tom? I think that Tom's messing with the Niners, personally. And are the Niners going to allow themselves to get messed with? Well, Matt Mayoko thinks the answer is yes. All right, let's take some calls. Barry Baller says, I think I tried that one time. Didn't work. Yeah, that's a tough one. Once you get dumped, it's hard to convince the girl that she wants you back. All right. Jacob Mayhew was in here and bounced. Jacob, come back. Rico, you're up, though. You ready, Rico? Rico.
Yo.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Where you calling from?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. Yeah, you're in one of those states where the clouds are hella close to you because there's no. Anyway, I'm just saying. What's up?
No, I just think that people don't like to criticize D'Amico. Like, you know, they never double teamed Cooper Kupp in the championship game before that, too. Like, I just want to know why nobody ever criticizes him. He never double teamed, ever. Even with Devontae Adams, too.
Well, hold on. This is an interesting question. Like, criticizing D'Amico Ryans. I felt that he did a great job against Devontae Adams the week before. In that divisional round game, whatever, against Green Bay. D'Amico figured out pretty quick that there was no one else Rodgers wanted to throw to, and he was bracketing Devontae Adams. Against the Rams, I think D'Amico was so scared of Odell Beckham Jr. that he felt if he doubled Kupp, he'd get beat by Beckham. I'd rather get beat by Beckham than Kupp, but I think that's why. What you saw was when they tried to double Kupp, they would just get beat by Beckham on comeback routes on the outside. Look, DeMeco has ways he could improve, but I think what would help him is some better cornerbacks. I think what you see him working around his corners, he knows aren't that good, so he calls really like conservative. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's pretty good. I just think that I feel like he should do it more than least because like we lost the Titans game because of that too. AJ Brown was killing us.
Exactly. The Titans showed you how to beat DeMeco Ryans. What you do is it doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. Just max protect, put your best wide receiver out against Ambry Thomas or Emmanuel Mosley and run a deep comeback route, and those cornerbacks will freak out and concede the first down because they don't want to get beat deep. All you got to do is run a hard comeback route against those two guys, and they will give up the first down. I think we saw that pretty consistently towards the end of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they gave up all those deep passes early in the season. They gave up those long penalties on deep passes early in the season. I think DeMeco basically said, look, just don't get beat deep. Keep everything in front of you. And that's a very, very conservative approach. And I think finally the Titans figured out and the Rams figured out how to beat it. You need better corners, Rico.
You're right. He needs the better corners that can press Cooper out the line, not just sit there and let him catch screens and just run,
Right. I mean, that's what Jason Verrett theoretically could do. And that's how Robert Saleh would use him aggressively. I mean, DeMeco does not use his corners aggressively. It's like he's afraid of them getting beat. And I get that. I mean, those corners aren't super great. Even Mosley, he's okay.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. But
he's
not
solid.
too genuine.
Yeah.
He's not like a corner that can move to the slot. So
or a guy you can just put in a elite wide receiver's face and say, all right, man to man, go. No safety help. We're gonna blitz. Man to man. You wouldn't do that with Mosley. That'd be scary. That's a penalty waiting to happen with Mosley or Ambry Thomas. That's why those guys play 8-9 yards off every snap.
Yep, they used to allow a lot of third downs, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 10.
So you think the Niners should bring in a corner?
Stephon, if it's yours, then I can see that.
I'm with that. All right, Rico. This is a very artistic. Is that really the sky, or are you like in your bedroom or something?
No, it's really the sky, man.
I like that, man. That was cool, man. Oh, nice. Have a good one, Rico.
All right, you too, man.
Peace. Dark Halo 2 times says if TB12 happens, has to be now for off system to develop. Let's see, but the Niners just gonna wait around. Just gonna wait around like they did for Watson, then get the decline. Nice nostrils. Yeah, pro tip is I have my camera a little bit above my eye level because people don't want to look into your nostrils. I learned that. And usually when your first instinct is to have the camera below you, but when you take a selfie, you put it above you, right? Same concept. Yo, what's up, Noah?
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, pull over, all right?
I'm on my way to work, actually.
I mean, I can't do it when you're driving, man. It's I could get in trouble. So you got to pull over. What's up, Jacob?
What's up, man? How you doing,
How you doing? You're pulling over, right?
Of course,
man.
It's my little car studio right here.
I like it. This is life or death out here, Jacob. No, I appreciate it, man. What's up?
Of course. So I'm thinking Rodgers and Brady, just throw it out the door already. Not happening. It's not happening. People let it go. Let's play the kid, man. Let's play the kid.
The way I say it real quick, it's a topic to get people through February, man. It's driving traffic. Everyone wants a little piece of it right
absolutely.
Now because it's allowing people like us to eat. So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But I want Trey to start this year. I want his development to go through. I want to see us in the playoffs, and I believe he could take us there to the Super Bowl as well. As in signing free agents, I say Justin Reed. I also like
Justin Reed is a good one.
I also like Stephon Gilmore. I would say J.C. Jackson, but I think Patriots probably franchise him. But also drafting a corner doesn't sound bad either. But I do like Justin Reed.
I'm sensing a theme here. DBs
all day. DBs all day.
Yeah, I mean the previous caller was just like, oh, let's talk about DeMeco, and he has good points, but I'd like to see what DeMeco could do with someone like Jason Verrett. Not Jason Verrett.
Oh, of course.
Enough of Verrett.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind bringing him back on a 1-year deal. Like, don't get me wrong.
But don't bank on him. Like he's your. Of course. Don't bank on him. Right.
Of course not. No. Right. But I would definitely get a corner who can line up in the slot with Cooper Kupp because that's the only guy who could torch us. And those guys are the only guys standing in our way. And I mean, we could beat everyone else. It's just, Cooper Kupp will torch us every single time if we don't have that corner in the slot.
See, to me, like, remember the last few years when the Niners were starting to become competitive and people in the NFC looked at them as someone they had to go through? All of a sudden, every team was like, what are we going to do about Kittle? How are we going to match up with Kittle? And it was clear you can't really match up with Kittle, but you have to have some sort of an answer there or else you can't compete with the Niners. And you saw all those teams do – I mean, not all their moves worked, but the Seahawks traded 2 first-round picks for a strong safety. The Cardinals drafted an inside linebacker in the first round. I mean, teams tried things. You got to make an effort. And the Niners, the way they got beat by Cooper Kupp, it seems like they have to do something to address that. And it's not just bring back K1.
No, it's not. And I mean, it's not that K1's bad. He's a B corner. But in this division, of course. And in this division, you need an A+ to match up with that A+. So I think so. Corner is definitely the way to go. Also, O-line. About Laken Tomlinson, if we signed him back, I wouldn't be mad. But if we let him go, I mean, a little too much money probably. But I mean, we gotta. I mean, I don't know if Aaron Banks is gonna slide into that role or but we haven't seen much of Banks, so I can't really say or predict because Kyle didn't give him a chance.
Yeah. I'm looking at Spot Track right now for the free agent guards. They have Laken Tomlinson ranked at number 5. They have Brandon Scherf, number 1. He's going to get like $18 million. Forget Andrew Norwell. I remember him. They have him valued at $13 million. Then Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, Alex Lewis, and Laken Tomlinson. They think he's going to get $5.5 million a year. If that's all he's going for, I think he could probably come back because I don't think how they're going to improve on Laken Tomlinson. If that's all he's going to cost, I thought he would go for like 10 something a year.
Yeah, I thought it would be like 12, 10. Because he's definitely earned it. He's a solid left guard. And I mean, also, we should definitely address the right side. I mean, obviously, Trey has the to move around in the pocket. Like, I'll go back to that Seattle game on that 4th and 10. You could see him moving so swiftly in the pocket. And then, obviously, he's not a run-first quarterback. I want people to go back to that play. He's not a run-first quarterback. He's looking down the field. I got no options. Let me take off, and he got the first down.
I like that about him. And there was one thing, I don't know if he was told to do it or he was trying to make a point. The first 4 or 5 training camp practices, he did not run past the line of scrimmage. And I don't know if they told him, like, you're not allowed to, or if he's trying to say, like, I'm trying to make a point. I don't want to impress you this way. I'll get to that. But I want to show you that I'm a quarterback and I have a quarterback's mentality. And I was like, wow. Because I used to watch Colin Kaepernick in practice, and he was pretty much like by any means necessary quarterback, even in practice.
Of course.
If the scramble lane was there, he's going to take it. Fine. I mean, that's how he played.
But nothing wrong with it.
Has a different mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I seen this on Twitter yesterday. I forgot who said it, but it was like, Trey's pass first quarterback, but has like the mobility. Like he wants to pass first, and he does pass first, but he does have mobility. So,
right. Yeah, I agree. Ben Meyerson came on the show, the Cohn Phone, this weekend and talked about that. Just posted an article on SI writing about that. The thing that's so intriguing to him and to me about Lance, forget the passing, just the legs, the ability to escape pressure, the ability to extend plays, and the ability to improve the run game, which is the engine of the offense. I mean,
exactly. They're 11 on 11 football.
They're 5th in the league in attempts, but only 16th in yards per attempt. Look at what their yards per attempt was in the 2 starts Trey Lance played. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah,
I feel like 16th is gonna correlate to 6th, 5th, 7th next year.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I think the Niners should be able to average 5 yards a carry. I think they should be. Their goal should be 5 yards a carry next year.
Yeah, and Debo. I can't imagine what Debo's gonna do next year with Trey Lance. I mean, I'm pretty excited
average like
for that.
8-9 yards a carry next year. It's gonna be crazy.
Could be 11, 12. And the whole thing with Booger talking about Trey Lance, don't even get me started. But I mean, people are just fetching for stuff right about now. I mean, there has been full proof that Trey Lance can do this, and I fully believe and have faith in him.
People are gonna have to. I got to take more calls, but last thing, people are gonna have to walk back a lot of stuff with him because he's going to be compared to a few people. One, Garoppolo. He's going to have a better season than Garoppolo. And all the other people that were drafted his year. And he's going to have a better season than them too, even though he didn't play last year, because look at his supporting cast. I mean, it's unfair what he has to work with.
Literally has every option.
Yes. Like, what does Trevor Lawrence have to work with? Nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. Jacob, man, have a good day. Thanks for calling in.
Hey man, you too. Thank you.
Peace, man. Yep. Ohio Niner says, how you feel about Calais Campbell? Haven't heard him mentioned yet. Man, he's old. Great player, though. That's who the Niners compared Eric Armstead to when they drafted him. I mean, sure, if you could get him for cheap and he wants to come down here on the back end of his career, that's cool. He's a great player. What's up, Garrett?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good, man.
Are you at work? Are you sneaking away?
I'm a teacher, and I'm actually on my prep period. So.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was just running some things by you. I'm all about play the kid.
Okay.
Young, 22.
Yeah.
If he didn't get drafted last year, number 1 overall, he would have been drafted number 1 overall this year. It was a bad class. Yeah. I was reading something, though, and it was, I think, the Denver Post, and it said that instead of trading for Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, something like that, that they would offer San Francisco 3 first rounds and a third. So doing what? Yeah.
Who, where, why?
I don't know. This is your conspiracy theory coming out, right?
The Packers would offer the Niners 3 first?
Broncos.
The
Denver.
Broncos. Okay, sorry, you lost me. Okay. Yeah. So the Broncos would offer what the Niners gave up for Lance.
Correct. But this year's first, next 2 years first, and a third
for Lance.
I'm all about
that would be after the Niners get Rodgers, theoretically.
I don't want Rodgers. I think he's a great quarterback. I don't know.
Something about him, yeah. There's something about him. Undeniable.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Hall of Famer, first ballot, all that type of stuff.
Look, real quick. I've watched him lose a lot to the Niners, and I've always felt that he doesn't take risks when down. Like, he's cool to lose. As long as his stats are good, he'll play the same way regardless of whether he's winning or losing. And I've seen Brady in person. Like, I was at the game when the Niners were up big against Brady in New England and Brady came all the way back and almost won 10 years ago. Like, Brady would never he would never just go down, lose, and be like, well, I played well. Rodgers is so content to do that. And now that he's on the way out in Green Bay, writers are starting to get courageous, and they're pointing it out. And like there's statistics that show you he doesn't do any high risk throws when he's losing, and that's why he's a freaking loser. Aaron, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So I guess my question to you is, if you're John Lynch, would you pull the trigger on that? Even though, I mean, Trey Lance is 22 and has a ton of upside. It's 3 first rounds and a third. And if you were to pull the trigger on that, who would you go after at quarterback? Because I would still trade Jimmy, obviously. Got to clear the books with that, and then bring in somebody completely new at quarterback. I coach football, so it's like I got that mentality of trying to always upgrade. But 3 first and a third, and plus whatever you get for Jimmy. At that point, you can take a 4th or a 5th.
True, but look, I've looked at it this way: you would do that if privately you saw something from Trey Lance that was very discouraging, that no one knows, cool. like that wobble's not going away, or he really can't throw with touch, or he can't read a defense, and that's our secret. And you know what? This project isn't going to work, and we know it. In that case, yeah, get your capital back and just start over. But I don't think they feel that way. And I've seen enough from Lance where I actually think
he's worth it.
Yeah, don't start over. I think he's worth it. I would rather them stick with him than to just get all your picks, because then you still have to get a quarterback, a young one. You can get Aaron Rodgers, but he could be here for 1 year. Yeah, I mean, Trubisky isn't who you want. Like, he's a bridge quarterback at this point, so you still have to draft another quarterback and commit to him. It seems like kind of just starting over, and I don't think fans would like it. But if they got Tom Brady, maybe they wouldn't care too much. Interesting thought. You read it in the Denver Post?
Yeah, I was scrolling through something. And Denver Post posted about it, and they're like, "Hear me out." Instead of going after somebody,
Denver was one of these teams last year that decided they weren't going to draft a quarterback, right? Yeah. And there were a few teams that were like, "We're not going to draft one this year." And everyone's like, "That's so smart." All of them are like, "Whoa, we're screwed." Denver, Carolina, Indianapolis. I'm curious. I mean, I think that everyone says it's a bad year to draft a quarterback. Yeah, top 10. But there's guys you can take 20, guys you can take 40, guys you take 50.
Low risk.
I do that. Yeah. All right, Garrett.
All right, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in.
Yep. See you.
Peace. Bay Area Baller 18.
What's up, Grant?
Real quick, if you don't subscribe to Eric Price's Bay Area Baller 18 YouTube channel already, do that. I just want to make sure everyone knows. All right, what's up, man?
Hey, thanks, Grant. Speaking of that, I just did an 1.5-hour show on free agent. I did a free agent preview show with Jamal Armstrong last night. Dude, I know. He's big time. We talked for an hour and a half.
I know Jamal.
No kidding.
True. With Vish and Jamal, we all had dinner in Oakland one time a few months ago. It's true.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous now.
Yep.
Hey, I want to start off. I'm looking at the free agents, wide receivers, right? I don't think we're going to spend big at the wide receiver position, but I got a way we can improve the kick return game, the punt return game. Jakeem Grant.
Ooh!
Jakeem Grant's a free agent. Phenomenal returner. Jitterbug, right? Dynamic. You could give him some end arounds, little guy. So
Texas Tech. I remember him.
Yeah, I'm eyeing Jakeem Grant. And if you can't get him, I got another guy, Braxton Berrios. Both of these guys are top 10. And if you're looking like return yard averages, Braxton and Jakeem Grant are both up there. Those guys could bolster the return game, and I don't think they're going to be expensive.
All right, I like that. Braxton Berrios. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Great
hell
name,
of a name.
actually.
Hell of a name. As for the quarterbacks, we're looking at backup QBs just real quick. Everyone's talked about him, but Tyrod Taylor and Teddy Bridgewater, those are the two QBs I would ideally want to bring in behind Lance.
How do you feel about Marcus Mariota? That's the guy that's been linked to the Niners recently.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit expensive. I think a team might try to bring him in to be like a fringe starter to battle, so someone might pay him more than what I think the Niners would be willing to pay. But I would love it. I loved Mariota. But what I noticed, man, after the elbow problems in Tennessee, his balls just were floating out there.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have any zip. So I need to see if that came back. I don't know.
It's like he got every injury. He's had every injury. I don't know.
Yeah. But switching to running backs real quick, again, cheap guys, because I know you don't want to spend at running back. I don't want to spend at running back. But Justin Jackson has worked with Anthony Lynn in the past down with the Chargers, and he's a talented running back. I like Justin Jackson. And then another guy, he's a restricted free agent, Dearness Johnson of the Browns. When Nick Chubb went down, Dearness Johnson was an animal. And, the Browns are paying Chubb premium money. They're paying Kareem Hunt. So if we try to snag him for just over the minimum, whether it's 3 or 4 mil, I'm not sure the Browns will match it because they're paying a bunch at running back already. And he was phenomenal filling in for Nick Chubb.
Dearness Johnson had 100 carries, 534 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. Yeah, damn, absolutely.
Yeah, no, he's a talented back, big, thick guy.
Good name.
Yeah,
it matters.
Yeah, and I want to switch over to the tight end position because we flirted with Austin Hooper in the past, right? So and your boy Ross Dwelly.
Never got a chance. But in Miami, he will.
It's possible.
To his best friend coming up.
Yeah, there's some tight ends that I'm looking at in free agency. One or two are gonna slip through the cracks and be had for a cheap price. Whether it's Hayden Hurst, Gerald Everett might do that whole NFC West dance where he was with the Rams, then he was with the Seahawks. Let's bring him in here.
I'm off Gerald Everett ever since I saw him fumble that ball in the end zone against the Niners. What was that week? I was in Seattle a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That guy was like shaving points in that game. He was the only reason the Seahawks didn't. Anyway, but yeah, he's a really good athlete. I was like, what do you? Anyway, I think he put the ball on the ground twice in that game, but that's okay.
I definitely remember one time him coughing the ball up. And then Evan Ingram or OJ Howard, both of those guys are younger.
OJ Howard, I forgot about him. Yeah.
I know. So did the Bucks.
Yeah. Well, he was hurt. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, those are the tight ends. And then the last thing I got are just some corners. Again, last night on my show, hour and a half, me and Jamal were going through hundreds of players.
Okay.
But I'll round it out with the cornerbacks. Man, Steven Nelson, was that guy a free agent like forever last offseason?
Good
and
player.
We're all like, sign Steven Nelson.
Get him.
Sign Steven Nelson.
Yes.
And we did.
They didn't sign him.
Yeah, but they should have.
The Eagles did, right? And he was good.
Eagles did. Yeah, and he had a good year. But my last guy I'm going to talk about, and it was a corner that I absolutely loved coming out of Iowa. And the dude hasn't done nothing in the NFL, but I would still sign him, almost like my Arden T prediction. I don't think this guy's a bad player. All right. And it's Josh Jackson.
Oh, right? He went to Green Bay, right?
He was in Green Bay. He was kind of buried on the depth chart. They had a Jair Alexander and
Eric Stokes,
King, your boy Kevin King. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they had a bunch of...
Exactly.
Yes.
But Josh Jackson, I'm really high on. I loved him coming out of the draft. I need to see more of him. I'm not sure he's a bust. Bring him in. He's going to be cheap.
Yeah.
And I think he could help out that cornerback room.
Hey, well, this is the guy who said that Arden Key would be the breakout performer of the season for the Niners. He was right, so I would take this seriously, viewers. Thank you, Eric.
Right on, Grant.
For sure, man. Good to see you.
See ya.
All right. There might have been a thing. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Hold on. Oh, yeah, Calais Campbell. We talked about that. Swan Song.
What's up?
What's up?
Okay, so pretty good. How are you doing? Okay, so this is going to be not very sexy, but offensive line. So
yeah.
Okay, so my biggest concern with the contract is Mike McGlinchey's contract. If somehow we can package him up with Jimmy, kind of one of those, hey, you take him, we give you this contract, okay? Hear me out. So instead of giving a second to the Niners, we take a third, but you got to take McGlinchey.
That's enticing. I think a lot of teams would like that. Okay.
That's
hard to say no to that. Yeah.
That's if he passes a physical and all that stuff, right? Because with his injury right now, what he tore his quad tendon all the way through. He's not going to come back until like mid-year, right? Like we're not going to. So it's going to be Tom Compton and Jalen Moore.
Look, I don't think McGlinchey's going anywhere until people see that how he plays. I mean, that's a very serious injury. I don't think he's going anywhere. If only someone had told the Niners not to pick up that fully guaranteed, nearly $11 million fifth-year option. If only someone had the foresight to tell him we don't want to do that. It's a mistake. But no one helped him, man. They were on their own. They made a bad decision. I don't fault him at all. No one told them not to do it.
Yeah, it's D4 2.0, but only for 1 year. That's what essentially it's what's going to be.
Yeah, just $11 million down the drain unless he makes a miraculous recovery. Otherwise, it's Tom Compton season again.
Okay, so I do have a free agent pickup that I would like to get.
Okay.
It's Morgan Moses, right?
Okay.
He played with Trent Williams. He was a free agent last year, played 1 year on the Jets.
Okay. Had
a great year. You know, everyone thought, oh, he's probably not going to be a scheme fit, but he was. He did all the stuff that, you know, what LaFleur, is it LaFleur over there? That's
Yep.
He had a higher PF grade than I think he had like a 70. It was decent, 71, 72. Okay. He wouldn't be that expensive. Maybe $3 to $5 million.
My check has him at like $3.6 million.
Yeah. Wouldn't be that expensive. Would love that, right? It would give us three years over there or whatever, or 2 years, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the other pick is, I don't think we're going to keep Lincoln. I think he's priced himself out of the market. I would love to have him back, but they're not going to pay Lincoln $10 million. I don't think so. Not at guard. A replacement that I see is actually had a higher PFF grade than Lincoln or similar. Is Connor Williams from Dallas.
Interesting. He went to Texas. Yeah, he played tackle at Texas. Good player.
Yeah, the only problem about Connor Williams is, I mean, he has a lot of penalties. Lots of penalties. But, you know, he's on the Cowboys. So maybe that changes.
All right. Well, it's good that the Niners are – I bet you the Niners have a few offensive line targets right now. Maybe that's one of them. He's one of them. Good call. Yeah. Anyone else?
I mean, the other thing was I don't really have – I mean, there's a lot of safety guys out there that we could try to go grab, but they're probably going to be too expensive. At that point, I think I just keep Tart and pay him like $2 to $3 million.
It'll be quite expensive to upgrade on him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just think do that and maybe draft a safety like somewhere in the third or fourth round or something, and then because I don't think Hufanga is the long-term answer there. I mean, I think he fits as like the third box safety or whatever, but they're going to have to get someone kind of like Tart if
Tart's going to be so cheap.
That position. Yeah,
Tart's going to be so cheap. They should just bring him back, honestly.
Yeah, pay him $2 to $3 million. It's fine.
Although Justin Reed will be even cheaper. He's 5 years younger, so maybe go that direction. I don't know
what does Sport Track say about Justin Reed's
$1 million? Is that's what they said his what was it? AAV was in 2021? 1 million? I don't know. Maybe they're wrong. Can't trust Spot Track.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, If we can get that guy for even like $4 million, I'd take that all day.
Yeah,
I'd pay that guy $4 million.
All right, man. I gotta take more calls. Good stuff though, man. Thank you.
Right on.
See you, Swan. Shefty said Jimmy may not be traded right now. Did he? Okay, I didn't hear that. Jesse, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Hanging in there?
I'm hanging in there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Better week than last week. I'll say that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, so two things. One, I think you're going to see free agency like explode when it comes to money, short-term, high-end cap dollars, because I think it's a copycat league. You're going to have a bunch of quarterbacks that are going to be like, just get two guys, pay them the most amount of money. Let's just get a Super Bowl. The Rams did it. Why can't we?
The Bucks did it, right?
The Bucks did it, right?
Yeah.
Now you're going to have, I think you're going to have a third of the teams do what they've always been doing. A third of the teams get ultra aggressive. And then a third of the teams that are going to be like, let's take advantage of the teams that want to be ultra aggressive and get a lot of draft picks, right? And essentially I think you're going to see a lot of wielding and dealing of free agents in the next coming weeks. That's going to be, interesting to say, because if you have a quarterback, go all in. You might as well go all in, because they're the flavor of the month. That whole entire track of building for now, worrying about the draft later.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because
I'm curious to see what a team like Cincinnati does. They could go all in right now. I mean, they're right there. They could do it. Yeah.
You tell me they wouldn't win if they had Trent Williams or, even Lincoln Tomlinson?
And what are you waiting for? You're
those two.
Yeah, windows right now. Win it next year.
Right now. Right.
Yeah.
So they win. I also think the Niners should not draft a corner. I think they should go after free agency and get their corners, because I think cornerback is the most volatile, hardest position to kind of project. You could be really good in college, but be a dumpster fire in the pro.
Also, the Niners have the 61st pick. It's a lot. Usually, time the best corners are gone by 40, 30.
They're in their own division. Look at the Rams there. Okay, we're going to get a known commodity. I think that turned out well for them.
Who was the top 5 pick, and everyone agrees is the best cornerback in the league. That's what we'll do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. To me, I think the Niners need to go really aggressive in the secondary market to get their secondary showed up. And then, I know it's going to sound funny, but, draft what you've been really good at, draft, tight ends, draft what you historically have done really well at. And then, they're not very good at drafting wide receivers other than a few. Get them in free agency, draft what you're really good at, and replace the stars that you have with what you know. I think should be what they should be doing. But, something tells me they're probably going to draft a corner. They're probably going to draft a running back. And we're going to be like, why did they do that?
If they draft another running back before like the 6th round, I'll just lose it. I don't understand why they keep doing that. If they draft a cornerback, I'm cool with that. It's just, they always try to find like a diamond in the rough at the end of the 3rd round. That's really hard to do. Really hard to do.
It's called the 5th round.
I'm surprised when Akello Witherspoon or Ambry Thomas is in a lockdown corner. Like, you passed on him 3 times and now you thought he was great. Come on. Yeah.
I also think it's very interesting, the pressure that we're starting to see Trey Lance have on him as the quarterback for the 49ers. He hasn't even gone through a practice, an off-season OTA. He hasn't come in wearing shorts or anything, and people are either saying, he's going to be the next Mahomes or a bust, right?
He's coming off essentially a red shirt season, and everyone's like, yeah, I've seen enough. Whoa, okay. Damn, you're good.
To me, the 49ers got to the NFC Championship with Jimmy being a C+B quarterback, depending on where you put him, right?
Yeah.
Trey just has to be a B+ quarterback, B or B+ quarterback the whole season. He doesn't have to
improve the running game and commit fewer turnovers. That's a great place to start.
Just be an above average quarterback.
Yeah.
That 15 to 17 range, I think the 49ers will be just fine, but
if he has a 2-to-1 TD to INT ratio and they average 5 yards a carry, they'll be fine. Anything else, and then you can work from there.
Yes, I also think that the Rams are going to be the favorite if they bring all their guys back. You know what I mean?
Beckham tore his ACL, right?
Huh?
Beckham tore his ACL, right?
Beckham tore his ACL.
So that's one of their guys.
Woods
Yeah.
coming. To me, that's a wash.
Woods tore his ACL too. Yes, true.
Yeah,
That's
right.
true.
So that's a wash to me. I don't think you sign him. I think you sign Woods. He's a better route runner at this time of his career. So to me, it's going to be very interesting what happens, because if the Rams don't or can't fill those, free agencies with the money they have allocated already, the 49ers have a good chance of being the team to beat, because the NFC is in flux with a bunch of old quarterbacks, right? The AFC is set for the next 10 years.
NFC is like the Eastern Conference in the NBA from 10 years ago. It's like it's
LeBron,
really nothing.
a few other old franchises, and then West.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Niners are in a good spot. They definitely could be the team to beat. They just have to make that one move. Maybe they already made it. Maybe Trey Lance was the move. Any move you'd like to see them make?
Yeah, I think they should sign that kid from Houston. I think they should go after the second or third best corner in the draft. I think they should trade down their second round pick and get as many picks as possible, because I don't think they draft very well unless it's in the later rounds. And honestly, just go for scheme fits. I think that's because I've seen Kyle try to pick people who are not scheme fits and they do terribly. Like, for example, the whole entire draft class that was drafted.
Eric Banks, Trey Sermon.
He doesn't do well. They don't do well in the system. So draft people who do well in your system.
Yeah.
Belichick does it. He has a good track record.
And what's crazy is the Niners do it too, but only like after round 3 or something. Yeah,
After
it's weird. It's really weird.
Talent, which is what you're taught to do, but they don't have people developing these guys.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So that's the other problem.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, good to see you. Good call.
Hang in there. All
right, I'll talk to you soon. Yo, all the way from Brazil. What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, I forgot about this moves.
Oh, you're good.
What's up? Man, it's the first time here. I've been watching for a long time. Sorry, the dogs.
It's okay.
And I'm talking to a lot of Brazilian fans who are Niner fans too. And I'm kind of alone in what I think we should do.
Let's talk about it.
I think you should pay a lot of money, but J.C. Jackson. I really like to see J.C. Jackson, and I'm sorry, I got nervous because I don't usually I type a lot in English, I convert a lot, talk to a lot of people.
Great so far. I'm just looking up J.C. Jackson right now. You're doing great so far, man. Keep going.
I really love to see this, like J.C. Jackson one side, and the other side, I've missed his name, the corner. Mosley.
Yeah.
No, I think you putting a lot of weight on Thomas,
Yeah. I agree.
I think due to this a second team player, we probably take a guy on the same round. How we know we'd be different? Well,
here's the thing. Let me go through J.C. Jackson's numbers real quick. He was a full-time starter the last 2 seasons for the Patriots. He's played 62 games and started 39, intercepted 25 passes. Who is this guy? He had 8 picks last year and 9 the year before. Damn.
I'm telling you.
Damn. Who is this guy? Yeah, and he's hella young too. He's 26.
25, I think. 26.
He just turned 26 in November. He's hella young.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it solves everything. You need talent, you need depth. And I think if you take who's the other guy who was in the Patriots? Was Gilmore. I think Gilmore is kind of old, You don't know how many years you have in playing great.
Yeah.
Playing great. And
the problem though, I'm looking at contract. They say that he's gonna get a 5-year, $100 million contract.
I know.
So look, I like that, but to get him, you would have to get, Eric Armstead off the books. And I'm cool with that, but easier said than done. I don't think they have the
I was thinking like the Saints did. No,
I don't think they can do it.
The Saints did. Could you mix? Take
he's going to be the highest paid cornerback in the league.
I know.
Jalen Ramsey signed a $100 million 5-year. I think this guy will probably beat that. So, I mean, the Rams did it. It worked for them. I don't think J.C. Jackson is as good as Jalen Ramsey, but he does intercept hella passes.
Niners usually don't do things like that. I know, but they don't usually trade up to a quarterback.
Here's why I think they don't make big. They made a big investment at corner when I was a kid. Nate Clements. They signed Nate Clements and made him, I think, the highest paid corner of all time. I never understood it because Nate Clements was like a B corner. He was and then he wasn't that good. And I think they were like, they're still scared to make any kind of an investment. So J.C. Jackson probably not coming down, but it's intriguing.
I love it, but I know
it's intriguing. I like it, man. Thanks for making the case. Good call.
Thank you.
All right, man. See you. All right. It's time for the coach. What's up, man?
Yo!
The people's champ. What's going on?
Hey, I'm gonna hit a little Grant drink. Got some free agents today.
Yeah. That's what I'm
talking about.
Yeah.
What's good, bro?
Man, doing better. Who's on your list?
It's so good to see you smile, man. So good to see you smiling,
Thanks,
bro.
Man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. So look, the theme of what I want to do is I don't want to step outside of the room. We garner young players. I feel like that's a Niners theme. And if they're old, they're Richard Sherman. But anyway, I'm just
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Right. Okay. So I got some DBs that I like that are fringe for us. They're going to be fringe guys. I mean, J.C. Jackson, other guy, he's about to come up on the bag.
It's not how the Niners do business.
Not how we do business. But if the Niners did, here goes our cheap version of going big game hunting for a corner.
Okay.
Carlton Davis out of Tampa Bay.
He's really good. He's really
I
good.
like Carlton Davis, man.
Yeah.
I think Carlton Davis could be that guy for us, but I got some other guys. Obviously,
Carlton Davis going to get the bag, though, according to Spot Track. They think he's going to get hella money.
Think so?
They say that he's going to get 19 something a year, 5 years. He's hella good.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Could I interest you in a Desmond King from Houston?
Oh, absolutely, because he can play in the slot too.
I like Desmond King. I also like Desmond Jackson. Not Desmond Jackson, Justin Jackson. And also,
Desmond King's a good one. Doesn't Desmond King return kicks too?
Yes, and Desmond King is so physical in the run game.
Yeah.
If you watch the game that he played against us, I've always liked Desmond King coming out of Iowa. Also, DJ Reed.
There's a connection too. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and let's spin the block on DJ Reed. I mean,
I like that one. He's a hell of a.
Why don't we just come on, man? Don't reinvent the wheel. Spin the block on DJ Reed, and there's another sneaky guy out there that I think would look good in the Bay. Vernon Hargraves out of Cincinnati.
Oh wow! Forgot about him. Vernon Hargraves.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got a lot of good snaps up under him. Okay, and that's kind of what I feel for DB.
That's exactly the kind of was a first round pick, a little bit older, but you put him behind this front seven. I can see it.
He's not even 30 yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they do business. Yes.
Yeah. O-line, this is a really, really slow market for right tackles, but I'm kind of with everybody else. If we could get rid of McGlinchey,
do it.
Now would be the time.
He's not coming back after next year. I mean, this is it.
Nah, and that quad injury, it's just like I could see the press conferences now about the quad and all of the. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about it. It would be a nightmare. However,
he wasn't good enough before the quad injury. Now that's going to be a big problem for him. Keep going.
I believe so. Also, if we're gonna go O-line, why don't we kick the tires on Ryan Jensen, the center out of Tampa Bay? I really like that move. He's played, really I think he's played like every snap of his career. He doesn't get hurt. Okay. He's tough as nails. He's a tone setter. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I like about Ryan Jensen very well is he can run. He can still run. And that's what we do with the zone. We run. And he is a
center on the market. And Spot Track has him as getting a 3-year, $30 million deal, which is cheaper than what Laken Tomlinson's going to get.
It's cheap.
It's cheap. It's a center. You get the best center in the league on the market. He's really freaking good.
Yeah. And I think if we just honestly, I think if we're going to swing the fences for two solid free agents, I would not mind if we took Ryan Jensen and we go ahead and we locked up either Carlton Davis or Desmond King. Preferably Desmond King.
I like that. And Carlton Davis, preferably Carlton Davis, but I think he's going to.
But it's just we don't.
and a stud center. I mean, those are two positions you don't have to. They're actually kind of bargains. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
And all right, so let's move to edge. I don't feel like anybody's talking about edge, helping out Nick. There's a guy out of
Jordan Wilson, free agent. There's another dude that's a free agent. Well, Arden Key, obviously.
Arden Key.
Yeah. Yep.
So conventional wisdom would be to keep our guys. If we just kept our guys, I wouldn't mind that. But
that's not what they do.
Derek Barnett out of Philly.
Ooh, he's good.
Yeah, he's only 25 years old too.
Yeah.
And I think he was only making like $3 million.
Yeah, those are the exact kind of guys, like the reclamation projects.
Yeah, Derek Barnett
last year. Oh yeah, he come to the Niners, man. Come work with Chris Cohn.
Come on, yeah. Yes,
absolutely.
And another guy, an unsung guy, and this guy kind of reminds me of who's the kid that we got out of the Rams last year that stepped up for us? Samson Ekubom.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, this would be him. Uchenna Nwosu out of San Diego.
He went to
the Chargers.
USC. He's a good player. He's
a high motor guy. Yep. And I feel like he's used wrong, just like Samson was used wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Uchenna Nwosu.
And if we're gonna go quarterback, Tyrod.
Yeah. He's a natural.
I think Tyrod will be a great vet for Trey.
Would you rather have Tyrod or Mariota?
Tyrod.
Yeah.
Tell me why. I saw it on your face, Grant. Speak your piece.
I feel like Mariota's broken good. I feel like he's not what he used to be. Every time I see him, I feel like he's about to get hurt, and his elbow.
Mariota or Tyrod?
Mariota. Something about Mariota. He seems broken. He can't stay healthy. I like Tyrod. He also gets hurt, but when he actually plays, he's good. I actually think he's
a ball player.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
And you know what? Tyrod kind of gives me he gives me Teddy Bridgewater vibes. Like I'm overplaying my abilities.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I'd rather have Tyrod than Teddy Bridgewater.
And there's an inside track on Tyrod because who's the kid? Who's the coach we just picked up from the Chargers? I mean, the ex-Chargers coach. He's the assistant head coach now. Lynn.
Anthony. Yeah.
Lynn and Tyrod. They're tight.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like last year, you saw when the Niners brought back Scangarello, they brought back a quarterback that he wanted. I like Sudfeld. Okay, you get Sudfeld. If Lynn's like, I really like Tyrod, he'd be a great mentor in the meetings on the field for Lance. He's exactly who Lance needs. All right. Thank you for the recommendation.
And let's just nobody's hoping for this, but let's just call it what it is. If I'd much rather have Anthony Lynn and Tyrod together manning the offense in an event that Trey goes down,
right?
Rather than anybody else.
Guy that no one knows how to use and has never coached.
Yeah, before, and they did great things in Buffalo together.
Yeah, that's true. They had the number one running game in the league in 2016 together, I believe.
Yeah.
I like
that. That's how I feel, bro. Hey, man, you snuck one in on me, man. You know I'm working, and it just out of nowhere, dude.
You pulled it off, though. No one will ever know. No one will ever know that you were doing this.
Don't let my boss know. We're good.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Hey, man, thanks.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you guys all calling in during your work hours, man. But it's really my job to get in between you and your work. Like, my job is to make you less productive. So I feel bad, but not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. I'm your boss's worst nightmare. Joe, what's up?
What's up, Grant? Nice.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm good to see you now, man. I agree with a lot of your takes. A lot of people think you're outlandish. Me and my friend go all the way back and say, you know what? Grant knows what he's talking about. He is a reporter. He's not just a journalist. He actually reports, man, and that is a inspiration.
Thank you, Joe.
You're more than welcome, man. What I wanted to talk about a little bit on the offensive side, and I know free agency is a lot like sharpening that target. Mm-hmm. You go in there for one thing, and then by the time you get out, you say, okay, I need this and this and this, and that's just not the 49ers MO. They don't spend a lot of in free agency, so I think they're looking, like you said, to kick the tires on anything, and I'm not sure they're really ready to pay Debo yet. So
let's talk about that. Okay. I don't think they were ready to pay him last year. I think they were thinking, if we could get one good year out of Debo, maybe we'll trade him because this guy doesn't quite get it. He gets hurt. He doesn't take care of his body. And then he does this, and they're like, damn, I think we have to reevaluate things. Exactly. Don't they?
They do. They do have to be evaluated, but we cannot keep using Debo in the fashion that we use them in. A lot of his touches and usage came from Raheem Mostert not being that explosive guy that we saw in the preseason to be able to hit the home run. So we had running backs that would fall forward like Elijah Mitchell that could pick up 5 yards in a cloud of dust, but no really home run hitter.
That's true. So that's why Debo had to do what he had to do. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think Cordell Patterson gives you that nice blend to where you're not letting Debo predict his own market again with a phenomenal season and taking his touches away. So you're saving him in the long run. You're not putting him in the backfield. And Cordell's a guy that you can split out. I think he would be brilliant in Kyle Shanahan's scheme. And that's somebody who I'm really enthusiastic about bringing on. And I don't think he should be a lot. He should be somewhere around $8 million, maybe per season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they say 2 years, 18 million. I'm usually against signing running backs, but Patterson isn't just a running back. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver who plays running back and also is like the second best kick returner ever after Devin Hester. So, I said they should have signed him last year. He went to Atlanta and became their featured running back and kicked ass.
And exactly. And one thing I like about him is his durability.
Yep.
He gets through good amount of games. I think 10 plus games a year. So he's not usually on the sidelines. So he gives you, I think it would be a good mix to bring him in on the offensive side of the ball. So that's one thing.
Never played fewer than 15 games in a season and only did that once. Every other season he's played 16 games. This year he started 13 games, rushed 153 times, averaged 4 yards a carry on a team that had nothing going for it.
Nothing. And he was
nothing going for it. Yeah.
He was the focal point of the offense and still was able to be productive. So you're talking about a third, fourth guy in Kyle Shanahan's system. It would just open up the floodgates for Trey Lance. And I think the read option with Cordell Patterson in the backfield with Debo and Kittle and Ayuk,
Lance.
Yeah, now you're really investing in that quarterback that you picked that you don't have to pay money to yet.
If the Niners decide they want to get a running back in free agency, it's the only one I like because he's not a running back. He's everything. He's like Debo. I like it.
Yeah, and on the defensive side of the ball, I really hope we get Stephon Gilmore. If we can get him for an acceptable price, he is a proven, known commodity. Some of these guys, just with Ambry getting beat by Cooper Kupp, letting him run in the end zone in the NFC Championship, that's something Stephon Gilmore, he just, even in zone, if Cooper Kupp's running past you, you have to go with him. So I just think he's a veteran.
Spot Track says he's going to get 2 years, $28 million. What do you think?
Borderline. That's borderline. And
borderline. Maybe if the second year wasn't guaranteed, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if you don't know how the salary cap is going to change that much. So,
true.
Yeah, but that was what I'm interested in. And I really appreciate you having me on, Grant. And
great call, man. Where are you calling from, by the way?
Atlanta, Georgia, man.
I had a feeling it was because I liked it. It was really, hey, you got a nice house. You got a nice house. Nice call, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Tuned in, man. Have a good one.
Okay. I like when people like show us where they live. I always like try to guess where they're calling from, and I love how deep Niner fans go. Like Atlanta, Brazil. We had a dude from Brazil just a minute ago. I don't understand why ESPN doesn't talk about this team more. There are fans all over the world, and all they talk about is freaking Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Alan?
How you doing, Grant?
I'm good, man. Where you calling from?
Indiana.
Indiana. What's up? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. One of the free agents I was thinking about corner-wise was Douglas from the Packers. Had a solid year.
Yes, he did.
He's a free agent. They can't afford him.
He did. That's a good one. Rasul Douglas.
And
JC real quick, let me see what he's supposed to be going for according to Spot Track. 4 years, $36 million. A little cheaper, man. He made some money for himself. This guy was on the couch.
But he's younger too, though.
He is absolutely. And this is the thing: corners are expensive. If teams feel you can cover man to man against these elite wide receivers, you're getting paid. End of story.
Yeah, and J.C. Jackson is another one.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson's probably going to get $100 million. I'm curious to see what the Niners do at cornerback because they don't like splurging at that position, but it's a position you kind of have to. So I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you a different question about Shanahan.
Yeah.
Do you remember Debo called his shot in the divisional round?
Yes, in Dallas. Yes.
You think Shanahan will let his players call more shots throughout the season?
I don't know. My question is, why didn't Debo do that in the last 13 minutes of the NFC Championship game? Why didn't you look to Kyle and say, hey, man, I got you? And if he did, why did Kyle say, nah, not this time? I still don't understand what happened at the end of that game. We may never get an explanation, but that would have been a perfect time for Debo to be like,
give me the ball.
Give me the freaking ball. And Kyle to be like, hey, oh, yeah, Debo. I forgot. I have Debo Sam. I forgot. He's on my team.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wish I knew the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a – yeah. Yeah. Anyway, good call, Alan. Anything else you want to say?
Huh?
Anything else you want to say?
Oh, I said it sucked that Josh Rosen did turn out what we thought.
What is with that dude? And he got that one chance with the Falcons and immediately threw a pick. I'm like, dude, you're an arsonist. You're setting fire to your entire career. Everyone gives you – he's gotten like 8 chances, and he's like, I don't want another chance. I don't deserve these chances. Poor Josh.
Kyler Murray might be the next one.
30 for 30 on Josh Rosen might be interesting. Kyler Murray might be the next one. Damn! Ooh, Alan, don't say that to me. I like Kyler Murray. Good to see you, man.
Hey, good talking to you.
All right, take care. Will chilling outside, trying to get that 5G connection working. What's popping, man? Yes, I can. What's up?
Hey. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to, I watch your show often. It's great content, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say everybody, keeps talking about DBs and the defensive line, but the defense has been great for like 3 years, ever since our 2019 Super Bowl run. And I just think that his offense, every time I'm watching the game, every Sunday I'm watching the game, and I'm like, man, the defense is tired. The defense is tired because they're always running out there these 3 and outs. I know a lot of that was Jimmy, but I think that offensive line needs to be the priority, really, this offseason. If they could pull off something like they did with Trent Williams, kind of go get a really experienced, good offensive lineman for like a 3rd rounder, like make that the priority. Like get bolster this offensive line so that whether it's Tom Brady or it's Trey Lance, they're going to need the protection, both of those quarterbacks. And
I agree with you. It's not a sexy position. We don't want to talk about it, but I'm with you. I think it's where they should go. The only thing is they tried it with Aaron Banks last year. I don't trust their ability to draft the offensive lineman. They always take a dude from Notre Dame, and it's the wrong dude from Notre Dame. So, yeah, do what you did with Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson, Alex Mack, free agency and trades. That's what you want. Establish vets that you know are good.
Go find a team that has a good offensive lineman or whatever the case is, if they're stacked or somebody that's on the end of their contract, and try to trade for them and bring them over and work out a deal later on. Really focus on that, because every game is that the offense stalls out. In this Super Bowl or this playoff run, we held Dallas, Green Bay, and the Rams all to like under 24 points. The defense isn't the problem. And I really think that it's the offense.
And what happened in the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship game? The Niners couldn't block anyone in the last quarter of the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, true. We always we struggle to put up more than 24. If this team could put up 24 points on average, and really your best defense or bolstering the defense can just be a better offense. We're supposed to have an offensive guru, and every season, or not every season, 2019 was great, but you know what I mean? If they can just step up their game.
You got all-pro wide receiver, all-pro tight end, Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell, Kyle Shanahan, the number 3 pick in the draft last year at Trey Lance. Like, the only thing that could possibly hold back this offense is the offensive line. And it's been subpar every year the Niners have been here. I mean, Kyle's been here. And it's been subpar. I mean, they have a great left tackle, but the rest of the guys are run-blocking specialists who fold when it's like, well, 2 minutes left, got to pass. They're just Compton, Laken, Mack,
the right
run skill.
The
you can't trust any of them one-on-one in pass protection.
Yeah, bring back Laken. I mean, that's a higher priority than DJ Jones, in my opinion. Because if you can get the offensive line to have rotational players like you do on the defensive line, this team will be a lot better. Or even if you don't rotate,
the Niners have shown that they can develop defensive linemen. They've shown that they can develop. You can get guys. Nobody's. Busts, late round picks. Coaster could figure it out. Offensive line, they whiffed on Aaron Banks. So you better. They don't know what they're doing there. You got to get guys that are established.
Well, we don't know if it's a whiff yet, right? We don't know if it's a whiff yet, right? He might fit more into the Trey Lance
telling
scheme.
us they don't think much of him, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing I want to bring up, and then I'll let you go. Is that I want to ask for now. I've been a fan since 2005, so it's not like deep seated. I've always been a fan, but I really started paying attention during the like Alex Smith kind of run.
Yeah.
But for the faithful out there, I want to ask them this: like, is it worth? I know everyone's on the quest for 6, right? If we get a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers, it's probably more likely Tom Brady. Is it worth winning one Super Bowl next year and then being in QB purgatory for the next decade, or have consistent success? I'm from Connecticut, so the Super Bowl is like the Patriots game, like Thanksgiving game is the Dallas Cowboy game. Like they were always in it every single year, or at least for the most part. And I want sustained success. I want to watch football in January for the next 10 years. You know, I want, whether that's, I mean, it's pretty much Trey Lance gives you that option, because if you sell out now like the Rams did and you get you one Super Bowl, but then you stink for 5 years, like, is that worth it? Because that's what's going to end up happening. We're going to end up, I don't know if getting Tom Brady means getting rid of Trey Lance, but it's I don't know. I mean, if you can make that happen, then obviously that's an ideal situation, right? Because Tom Brady, to see him in red and gold would be great. But that's
I don't know if
Rodgers,
I would trade Lance for a 45-year-old Brady. That seems a little crazy.
It's
but
crazy,
if you have both,
but I don't know.
Just put Lance in the back burner one more year.
If you can learn from Tom Brady. Yeah, I'm cool with Tom Brady for 1 year.
Interesting question.
If that doesn't mean, you know, then you can't sign DJ Jones. You got to get rid of Jaquiski Tartt. Like, is he going to come for $5 to $10 million? I don't know about that. He might come back, and we don't have to get rid of Trey. But can you sign everybody else? Might take up a lot of cap. I don't know if he's coming back for. He's not going to do us that many favors. You know what I mean? In terms of salary cap, like, you might have to give up a lot of guys.
That's true. Oh yeah, Brady, all that. Yeah, Brady. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but. If the Niners have to trade Lance just to get a 40-year-old quarterback, I don't think you do that.
No way.
I don't think you do that.
Yeah, no way. No way. Just roll the dice.
Where are you calling from again? Are you in Connecticut?
Yeah, I live in Connecticut, Southern Connecticut, Fairfield County.
All right, cool, man. I'm just taking stock because people call from all over today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. I'll see you around.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
All right, peace. Stefan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you calling from? I'm just asking.
I'm calling from Berlin, Germany, actually, but I'm from California. So.
Okay, cool.
I want to talk a little bit. Just listening to the call about the fourth quarter in the NFC Championship, and then a little bit about Trey Lance.
Okay.
For the fourth quarter, I don't know. To me, when I was watching that game, it kind of felt like the Super Bowl in that. Or the 2019 Super Bowl, and that the 49ers were doing okay with the run, but they weren't like consistently getting decent runs off. Like when the 49ers are really killing it with the run, they're like getting 4 yards, 5 yards every single time, or Deebo Samuel's just randomly breaking for like 16, 20, something like that. And I think Kyle tends to hold back generally when he's noticing that they can't get like a consistent kind of game plan going with the run, like down after down. And that was kind of what he was doing in the fourth quarter. Is he's like, I don't trust that the run is going to actually generate the first downs we need to really push down the field. And instead, you know, we have to just trust Jimmy for whatever that's worth.
Right. They were averaging 2.5 yards per carry in the game, which is such a failure when you have those running backs. I mean, wow. Not to mention Kittle and Juszczyk.
I think part of it's the Rams game plan. They brought like what this like, I forget, it was like a linebacker, like a old school linebacker from the Rams specifically for the run, and they were specifically bringing him in for the run. I forget his name, but
I mean, if you don't respect the quarterback throwing the ball, you know that the other team doesn't want to throw the ball. Then I mean, eventually you figure out what they want to do and you shut it down. But real quick, I mean, even though they weren't averaging like a lot of yards per carry, they still could have ran the ball in the fourth quarter. They got the ball up 17-7. Went pass on first down, pass on second down, pass on second. He went pass, run. That's when they went 4th and 2 and punted from Rams territory. That was really aggressive. Then they get the ball back. It's tied 17-17, 6:49 left. Pass, punt. What the hell is that?
Yeah,
it's tied.
I mean, you need to try and establish like your game plan.
Yeah, you're trying to work time off the clock just as much as you're trying to get points and yards, and you go pass. 17-17?
And they could have leaned on the screen game more. I kind of get the feeling that Kyle just doesn't like screens, which to be fair, I don't actually really like screens either. I don't think they're like that strong.
45-yard touchdown.
To be fair, there was a really strong screen earlier in the game, but I can understand.
Debo Samuel saved their season with an 83-yard gain on a screen in Chicago. It's just another way to get Debo the ball. It's just a great way to get Debo the ball.
When you have Debo, you have to do it.
Hell yeah.
It's a good way to get him the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing.
Sure.
For Trey Lance, I think the biggest mistake Kyle made this season, honestly, was not understanding that the locker room wasn't going to be behind Trey Lance and creating a lot of doubt early in the season, right? Yeah. Like, I honestly think if the locker room isn't behind the guy, at the end of the day, you have to go with what's going to keep the team together. And I think that was just Jimmy this year, right? I get the feeling that Kyle wanted to play Trey, at least. That's my feeling. And just couldn't. He couldn't convince the team to do it. And that was why he was sowing sort of a lot of doubt and not confirming who the quarterback was, also because he kind of just likes being mysterious. I definitely think that if you know the locker room, or you think the locker room isn't going to be behind it, you should just say Jimmy's the guy, because I think a lot of the current dialogue comes from the fact that the 49ers were flirting with playing Trey the whole year. And so because they didn't, people are saying Trey must be bad, when really no one can actually know that, like with what we've seen so far.
All right, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Lance needs work. Best position group to help him along his O-line. O-line, biggest reason is NFC Championship game loss. Build O-line, helps pass, run, and freeze Kittle. With you, Swan Song. All right, so I just found this report. Hold on. So Adam Schefter is saying that the 49ers might not trade Jimmy Garoppolo. He says it's not a lock that Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded this year. He said Trey Lance needs more work than people realize. Trey Lance is greener than people realize. Trey Lance is going to need more work than people realize, and they have a roster that can win now. Adam Schefter questions whether the Niners should trade Jimmy Garoppolo. So I don't know that it's necessarily – I don't think Trey's ready to play yet myself. And after talking to some of the players, that was Montana. I'm just telling you that Trey Lance was probably further behind than people realize, Schefter told Ari Mirov of Pro Football Focus. Trey Lance is greener. So I'm just trying to – let's say they get a 2, 4, and a 6, not necessarily on this year's draft for Garoppolo. Now you're San Francisco. Now you can say Jimmy Garoppolo is unquestionably one of the most popular and respected players in our locker room. Players love playing with him. We have him under contract this year at a very, very friendly $25 million cap number. And if we play with him this year and we lose him after this year, we're going to get a third-round comp pick back in return. A third-round comp pick back in return. So are you better than playing the season with Jimmy while getting Trey and training that he still needs? Are you better trading him for, let's say, call it a 2, 4, and a 6? What's the better 2, 4, and a 6? Get the hell out of here. So he says more. Let me say this. He's developing the right way. They're happy with him at Lance. But I go back to my initial statement that he did not play college football at all 2 years ago. He's coming from a small school to begin with, and there is a steep learning curve for a quarterback like that who's blessed with a lot of talent, and they still are very high on. It's not a reflection on what they think he's going to make it. I'm just giving you the other side that I don't think it's a lock. Jimmy's going to be traded. He very well might, but it's not a lock. Okay, look, I'm with them on that. I've been saying this the whole time. They're not going to get more than a third-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's fantasy land. They're not going to get more than a third-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Even if they get the third-round pick, that would be great, and they should take it. But what Schefter's saying is they could keep him one more year and get the third-round pick as a comp pick later. Trade him. Get him off the team. Trey Lance has no chance to succeed with Jimmy Garoppolo here. The locker room wants Jimmy for some crazy reason. Majority. You got to get him out. Jimmy has shown he can't win the Super Bowl even if he has the best supporting cast around him. He's shown it twice now. He doesn't need a third chance. I don't care whether Trey Lance is ready, quote unquote. There's no definition for that. Whether he needs more work, of course, he hasn't played much. He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I told you the Niners are going to do this. I told you they were going to do this. I told you. They're going to look around. They're going to realize there's not really a good trade market for Jimmy Garoppolo, despite all these beat writers trying to create one for him out here in Santa Clara. and they're going to say, you know, why don't we just keep him? It's not that we can't trade Jimmy Garoppolo. It's that we want him one more year. They tried to speak this trade market into existence, and it's non-existent. And they just figured out we could trade him now, or we could keep him and get the same pick. Or maybe they couldn't even get a third-round pick for him this year. Maybe teams are offering force, and they're like, well, we can't take that. Because if we keep him one more year, then we get the third-round comp pick. Yikes. That's such bad news. I'm so sorry, Niner fans. This is not what you wanted to hear. At any point, really sorry about this. But I told you, man, there's no trade market for Jimmy Garoppolo. They're just going to end up taking the comp pick and setting back Trey Lance's development another year. But you know what? It's good for my business. Another year of a quarterback competition? Another year of a quarterback controversy? Thank you, 49ers. It's not good for your brand, good for my brand. Terrible decision for you, business-wise, great for me. So thank you. But I'm wearing my quality control jacket. I highly advise you against keeping Jimmy Garoppolo another year. Highly advise against it. But they're going to do it probably. Lance, we got you. Hold on. Thank you, Adam Schefter. Preach Grant, trade him. Get rid of this dude. How is Trey supposed to get better by sitting for a third year in a row? It's that whole thing's like, I'm sorry, sir. It's like applying for ID. Well, you don't have ID. Right, that's why I'm trying to get ID. Well, you need ID to get ID. You need experience to get experience, apparently. Trey Lance is never going to be in a position to get experience because he's not experienced enough to get experience, is what we hear. If we keep Jimmy G, Colin with the Chargers, I don't even know what you're talking about. Colin with Chargers jersey in 2022, you're just going to become a Chargers fan because of Justin Herbert? All right. Carlos from Mexico, last call of the day. Sorry about that. There was some breaking news.
It's okay. Hi, Grant.
What part of
Pretty
Mexico are you calling from?
Well, I'm from Mexico City, but I live in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah. So 2 things. First of all, what about a slot wide receiver? Should the team target that?
I think they like Juwan Jennings, but couldn't hurt to have another one. Maybe someone a little bit smaller. Jennings is 6'1", maybe a Trent Williams, a Trent Taylor type.
What about the guy from Jacksonville, Chark?
Oh, I see him more as an outside guy, a little bit taller, but he's a good player, hell of a player.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now the next thing. Now that you mentioned this news,
sure.
If Trey Lance is not ready to start this year, then some big changes need to be done at the front office. That means that we don't know how to select in the draft. We don't know how to treat our free agents. Everything sounds terrible.
I mean, he's not ready because he didn't play in 2020 or 2021. Well, then it's sitting him another year is just going to make him not ready next year. I mean, he's never going to be ready, ever, if this is how it keeps going. Well, the team is good. Let's just stick with a veteran. Lance isn't ready. He doesn't have enough experience. He's never, ever, ever, ever going to be ready. And all of a sudden, you're going to look up. It's going to be the Jimmy Garoppolo situation in New England. Jimmy was just on the bench behind Brady forever, and then his contract came up, and New England was like, well, what do we do? The guy's played 2 games. We don't know if he's ready to take over for Tom Brady, even though we like him. So they just ran out of time and had to get rid of him, and that could happen with Trey Lance. I feel bad for this guy. It must be crazy to be on the same field, in the same meetings, be smarter than the guy, have a better arm than the guy, be more mobile than the guy, just better in every single way, and have no one realize it in the organization, or not have no one in the organization have the cojones to make the move. How much of Jimmy Garoppolo do you have to see before you take a leap of faith and try someone else? It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think this has something to do with racial thing? It seems like the NFL loves white quarterbacks. Maybe the 49ers are.
I don't think it's that simple, man. They traded for Trey Lance. They must have liked Trey Lance. They made a huge investment in Trey Lance. And all of a sudden, I don't think they were like, you know what? He's too black for us. I don't think it's that. I think it's they lost their nerve. They're like, oh, he's too young. He's too inexperienced. We got to go with the conservative, tried and true method. I know you don't. The reason you made this investment for Lance is because you know Jimmy isn't good enough. How many times do you have to be reminded of that fact before you move on? It's crazy to me. Crazy, Carlos.
Correct. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for calling in, man. What a way to go out. Some really bad news. Jimmy G should be sent to China with Westbrook. That's funny. Nathan says 25 million to be average at best. Karan called him C plus B. I was like, I don't think so. C minus quarterback to me, but I love you, Karan. 25 million to be average. We need the cap space to re-sign Debo and Bosa. Jimmy's gone. Can't take another year of average, Jimmy. So sorry, Niner fans. So sorry. We'll have to monitor this as things go. Just keep in mind, Schefter didn't say he heard. This is him saying, I'm thinking. This is him putting the pieces together, and I get it. If the Niners can't get more than a third, maybe they say, we'll just keep him and get the third as a comp pick down the road. Yikes. All right, guys, that's it for the show. I'll be back tonight with Jesse Naylor, Niners After Dark. I think I know